First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. We're live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We're here every weekday. We start at 1 p.m. We go throughout the afternoon and we cover a wide range of topics. And I already jumped ahead and we already have our guests on here. But we're going to be talking about the Portland Wrestling Expo taking place this weekend, along with the Pacific Northwest Wrestling Hall of Fame, a dinner for that. So many things to go over and talk about, but we've got our two guests joining us. We have Nick Masci. We have Lenny The Grappler Denton joining us right now. I mean, if you're a fan of wrestling at all, you already know the Grappler's name, but here in Portland and the surrounding areas, I mean, the Grappler's legendary, and the Grappler is here now on our show with us. So I appreciate both of you guys being here and being a part of this. And to start off, I was hoping maybe we could find out a little bit about what the Portland Wrestling Expo is for those that don't know.
Oh, and thanks for having us back, Greg. Last year for our first, our debut show, you had us on, and we're back for round two. You know, second time's the charm. And it's this Saturday, like you said, at the Holiday Inn. It's Portland Airport, so it's right by the airport. There's a shuttle for anyone that's flying in and out. They're able to get to Cascade Station, get to the airport. But when we ran the first show last year, there were no plans to necessarily run a second show. And because of the reaction from all the fans, the reaction from all the amazing legends like Lenny, we knew we had to come back for a second show. And it's happening this Saturday. We've got a great lineup. WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather. Of course, we have Priscilla Kelly, recently seen on WWE programming. We've got the Reichers from TNA. But let's not also forget, we've got the Portland legends, guys like The Grappler, guys like Top Gun, Ricky Santana, the Equalizer, Chief Jules Strongbow, Dr. Tom Pritchard. Some of the gentlemen with us last year, like Lenny, like Ricky Santana, like Top Gun, but a lot of those guys, like Dr. Tom Pritchard, like the Equalizer, they haven't been back to the Pacific Northwest in 20 years. So we're having another reunion this Saturday for the Portland Wrestling Expo 2. And what's going to make that day even more special is that the nightcap, we're doing the Pacific Northwest Wrestling Hall of Fame. I mean, there's so many legends that, were involved in Portland wrestling over the last 100 years. And the man on my right is, of course, one of them. And he's one of the men getting inducted. The Grappler's getting inducted this Saturday. And you can see our friend Joe V on there, Playboy Buddy Rose, Dutch Savage, Don Koss, and of course, the Grappler, Lenny Denton. And that's going to be immediately following the expo, right around 4:30 p.m. start time. There's going to be a dinner, and then it's going to lead right into the award ceremony where the four men I just mentioned are being inducted. They'll all be inducted by someone in the Pacific Northwest wrestling community. And Joe V will be hosting. So it should be a fun day. It's a full day. Doors open for the expo at 10 a.m. And then the Hall of Fame starts right around 4:30 p.m.
I mean, that is so much going on. I actually just talked to Joe V this morning here when he was getting done with Good Day Oregon. He said to make sure to say hi. And so he's going to be there emceeing. Of course, he's been involved in the Portland wrestling scene for so long also. And, Lenny, though, I want to go to you and just ask you this. The Grappler now going to be in the Pacific Northwest Hall of Fame. How does it feel? To have this, to be getting this honor and to be being inducted as one of the greats?
One thing I would like to say is please tell my good friend, Joe V, I said hi, the guy that wrote my book and helped make me a legend in pro wrestling. But you know something, guys, now, if you take a look at the backdrop behind me, if you look around the room, you're a legend when you come to town and you're in your grandkids' room. There's all kinds of little toys and baby stuff anyway. But this is the best place I could get where I can get quiet so we can talk on TV. but I tell you something, it's really, really, I mean, guys, I've been wrestling. This is my 49th year, and I still do shows. I manage and do things and make these shows. And for somebody to come to you and say, look, we're going to induct you in the Hall of Fame, Wrestling Hall of Fame, it's an honor. I mean, what else could you ask for? You know, someone putting you in the Hall of Fame. And you know, I never dreamed of this when I was 17 years old, when I broke in wrestling in 1977, that I would ever be in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. But you know what? Here in Portland, Oregon, a place where there's wrestling fans, the best you've ever had, you've ever seen. I wrestled all over the world. I wrestled all over this world, and some of the best fans I've ever seen and ever talked to and ever wrestled in front of is right here in Portland wrestling. You know, so it's a great honor. It's hard to explain.
I can only imagine. Yeah, taking a look back there at some Portland wrestling filmed at the Fox 12 Oregon studios back in the day. You know, a few years ago. So, you know, thinking about that and thinking about, you know, this Hall of Fame induction and obviously this long career that you've had, 49 years. What is it about wrestling that keeps you going, that really drove you into this in the first place, to where it's your life?
Well, you know, it was like I was an athlete in school. You know, I played football in Texas. If you don't play football in Texas, there's something wrong with it. It's like a religion. Okay. And I played baseball. Matter of fact, I was better baseball player than I was football player. I was always an athlete. I had these aspirations of going to college. I got offered a scholarship, but wrestling came along. It was something that my dad and my uncles really liked. I didn't think that much of it until I went the first time and I seen what kind of athletes they were. And I said, man, you know, and I went and I signed up to be trained. And it's funny, it was weird. Like in baseball, I had to work really, really hard to be good at it. In football, I had to work. I wasn't that great of a football player. I mean, I made the varsity, but I barely made the varsity. I'll put it that way in football. There's such much bigger guys than me. But in wrestling, it was like deja vu. I wrestled the first time I got in the ring. It's like felt like I'd been there before. And when I got better at it and trained more, I'm not trying to brag by any means. It felt like I could accidentally have a good match, and it was just something that would seem like it was meant for me to do. And man, I took advantage of it. And you know, there was good times, there was bad times, and when I first started, believe me, I wrestled for 2 years before I ever won a match. Okay. I mean, they would just use you, pound you, abuse you, and pin you until you were good enough to be there and accepted. You know, it was like a locked in society in wrestling, you know, and not everyone got invited in. Some guys just got their ass beat and sent home, you know, but somehow I managed to struggle through and then found my niche. And it was just something, once you do it, you love to do it. And it just stayed with me, and it was a way to make a living, and I got better and better at it. And then I got to the point where Harley Race asked me to book his territory, him and Bob Geigel, when I was in Kansas City. And I took over that job, so I got more in tune to it and learned how to put things together and book guys and know what talent could draw and what will work here and how to make them draw money. And so it just went on from there and escalated, and it turned into, all of a sudden, here we are 49 years later.
49 years later, yeah. Yeah, going into Hall of Fame and being a part of that business. You know, Nick, I want to ask you, when it comes to wrestling, you know, and putting on this expo, and obviously people are very excited about this, and people they just love wrestling. You know, what is it about wrestling, and maybe for this area too in particular, the Pacific Northwest, that makes it such a huge draw for everyone?
Well, that was the amazing thing about last year, Greg. I've put on conventions in other parts of the country, in Florida, New England, Montreal, and I could say that the hospitality and the passion of the Pacific Northwest wrestling fans is as good, if not even better, than the fans in those other parts of the country. Nothing against them. There were so many people coming up to me last year thanking me for putting on the convention, getting to see Lenny, getting to see Mike Miller, Ricky Santana, Top Gun. A lot of them had even said they hadn't done anything wrestling related since the Owens family had stopped running, or Sandy Barr stopped running. So we're talking 30 plus years. And there's still such a connection to that Portland wrestling in this area, to where guys that, you know, maybe in other parts of the country, they may have wrestled, but because there was so much wrestling, or there might have even been so much in general going on, that the community of Portland wrestling is still so remembered so fondly because it was a community. Everyone went to the sports arena. And they remember seeing all of their favorites. And some people going back years and years and years before Lenny even got here. So it's really amazing the Pacific Northwest and the Portland wrestling community. They embraced us last year around the first Expo, and we're hoping they'll embrace us for round two because guys like Lenny, guys like Top Gun, guys like Ricky Santana, Dr. Tom Pritchard, they made their name in other parts of the country as well, but they're still so fondly remembered in this part of the country. And I think that anytime the Grappler comes back to the Pacific Northwest, it's an occasion. So I'm looking forward to this. You see the flyer from last year.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this Saturday because there's an energy when everyone gets together. There was a great energy in the ballroom last year for the first Expo, and I'm expecting to feel that same energy this Saturday.
And
I'll tell you something, guys. The one thing was I remember back, I'd been wrestling about 2 years or about a year, and I was in Mid-South. And Bill Watts, ran everything, and he owned the place. And I remember him saying, "Look, you've been here about a year. We beat you to death. We've got about all we can get out of you. You learn a lot." He said, "Now you need to go on and move on to another territory." He said, "So where would you like to go?" I remember this way back. I was like 18, going to be 19 soon. He said, I can send you anywhere because I know every promoter in the wrestling business. Where would you like to go? And I said, "I'd like to go to Portland, Oregon." He goes, "Yeah, anywhere but there because everybody wants to go there." And so I ended up going to Florida because everybody was converging on Portland, Oregon. And one of the reasons is because of a man named Don Owens. He was a good payoff guy, and he was a legend in his own right. And it was something. And the one deal that really, really sticks out about Portland wrestling to me was when you walked into that crow's nest to do an interview. So many famous guys had been there, and it was like an honor to be able to walk into Crow's Nest with Don Koss. I guess before that was Frank Bonema, and walk in there and do an interview in the Crow's Nest, and all the fans would be around there screaming and hollering because they knew that the show was going to air that night on TV on Channel 12. So if they got lucky, they could see themselves on TV. So it was a heck of a production. I really enjoyed it. It was old school. And a lot of famous guys walked that walk.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to be a part of that. I mean, I wasn't here when that was going on. I'm probably about 100 feet away from where that happened, when that was happening when it's filmed here. Lenny, for you, talking about that with the Portland fans and the Portland people that are going to be coming out to see you, and you've been all over the place, but here, you were really have such a legendary status. I mean, which is all fair. What does it feel like, to be out here and be in front of these Portland fans that are going to come out and see you this weekend and get to interact with you and still, love seeing the Grappler?
Brother, it's like coming home and you see guys, I see people that I hadn't seen in 10, 15, 20 years. I see new fans that they've heard about me. It's just fun. They make you feel welcome. It's an enjoyable time. I enjoy doing it. And anything with Portland wrestling, I love to be a part of. It just makes me really excited and have a great time.
Well, and it is going to be a great time. And Nick, I want everybody to know too, just to remind them again, of when, where, and all this stuff that's going to be taking place here this weekend. But just what somebody, if they didn't go last year, what can they expect walking through the doors there to the Portland Wrestling Expo?
Well, I think it's a celebration of the Pacific Northwest wrestling scene. You're gonna get the legends like Lenny the Grappler. You're gonna get Top Gun. You're gonna get Ricky Santana. You're gonna get a lot of stars of the Northwest area today. A lot of them are featured right on there. So you get second generation star Teal Piper, Ricky Gibson. You're getting national stars like the Godfather, WWE Hall of Famer, international star like Minoru Suzuki, and then of course you're getting the Portland legends. You're getting Top Gun. You're getting Ricky Santana. You're getting Dr. Tom Pritchard. You're getting the Equalizer. Ken Patera, another legend, actually never had a chance to work for the Owens family, but he's a Portland boy, born and raised. and he's coming back home. So it starts this Saturday at the Holiday Inn Portland Airport. Everyone can head on over to pwexpo.com if they want to pre-order the tickets. Tickets will be available at the door as well on Saturday, and the expo will be from 10 to 3, and that will be followed by the Hall of Fame awards dinner at 4:30 with Playboy Buddy Rose, Don Koss, Dutch Savage, and the one and only Grappler being inducted. The Grappler's actually pulling double duty because he'll be inducting Don Koss, and then we'll break some news just like he did many a night in Portland. He's headlining. He's closing us down on Saturday night. So the last speech you'll hear of the night will be the much anticipated, the much deserved Hall of Fame acceptance speech from the Grappler himself. So I'm looking forward to hearing that.
All right. I can't wait to do it.
Amazing. And at the event itself, so they're going to get to interact with all of these wrestlers.
Oh, absolutely.
And get to see them. Are there booths, or how does that work?
Yeah, and thank you for asking that question, Greg, because it's not just a chance to meet and greet the wrestlers. There's going to be all kinds of wrestling merchandise available, wrestling memorabilia. There's going to be T-shirts. The wrestlers are going to have T-shirts available that they'll be able to sell. There'll be all kinds of additional Portland. There's some Portland wrestling authors like Mike Rogers that's going to be there selling the history of Portland wrestling in book form. Rich Patterson will be there, where people will be able to pick up Portland wrestling footage. You'll be able to, of course, meet all of the different stars, take pictures, get autographs. There'll be all kinds of merchandise available to pick up. So it's really a fun day. From all ages. Of course, we're going to have the youngsters there, and we're going to have, Grandma and Grandpa out too. So from 10 to 3, and most of the guys will start signing right around 10 o'clock. We always recommend people to get there closer to 10 because who may have a flight out later that day, who may have another commitment. But everyone will be starting signing right around 10 o'clock, and the expo will go until 3 o'clock.
Nice. Well, it's going to be awesome celebration, as you mentioned, of Portland wrestling and the amazing stars like Lenny right there, the Grappler. I want to thank both of you guys for once again joining me on here. So
thank you, Greg.
Year 2, thank you guys, and it's going to be so awesome. And congratulations, Lenny. Well deserved Hall of Fame induction.
Thank you, Greg.
It's just awesome. Yeah, thank you both of you guys.
All right, buddy. Take care. See you there.
All right.
Thank you, Greg. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. And for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now. We're going to go ahead and take a break. You'll see our programming switch. We've got a lot more coming up this afternoon, so I will be here covering all kinds of different topics. But for now, we'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Dibler. This is Fox 12 Now.